Warner Brothers sure seems to be on a roll of late. And while the studio might still be busy basking in the glory of Godzilla vs. Kong's successful debut, that hasn't stopped them from going full steam ahead with the next film in their 2021 slate. That film is Mortal Kombat, the newest adaptation of the ultra-violent video game series that began its life in the early 90s. The film is currently scheduled for a same-day release in US theaters and HBO Max, but started its international rollout this weekend. Hi guys, Michael Abayimi here, and today I'm reviewing the 2021 reboot of Mortal Kombat. In Mortal Kombat, a group of Earth's mightiest warriors have been chosen by the powers that be to fight in a tournament that will determine the fate of the world. This includes Ko Young, a mixed martial artist that was born with a strange dragon-shaped birthmark. And after he finds himself and his family being haunted by a mysterious assassin named Sub-Zero, he is forced to seek out a woman named Sonya for help. From Sonya, he learns about a tournament between the various realms and how this has been going on for centuries. The forces of the Outworld, led by a sorcerer named Shang Tsung, seek to take over the Earth realm once and for all. And in order for Cole and his fellow warriors to defend it, they need to undergo training under the tutelage of the God of Thunder, Raiden. As a long-time fan of the Mortal Kombat games, I had approached this latest adaptation with a fair amount of skepticism. A project like this, with a first-time director and a cast populated by B and C-list stars, more often than not, ends up falling short of its true potential. Also, there is the fact that I was yet to truly recover from the trauma of watching Liu Kang transform into that CGI dragon in the last film in the franchise. So yes, this latest film had a lot to prove, and prove it does. The fight scenes were tightly choreographed, and the special effects were convincing in a cartoonish sort of way. I was especially surprised by just how funny the movie was, and most of that was due to Josh Lawson's portrayal of Kano. He had the whole theater while I saw the movie bawling with laughter, taking what should have been the film's most obnoxious character and making it his most endearing. The story of the movie, on the other hand, was just so-so, but they can only do so much with the premise being carried over from the games, so this shouldn't really come as a surprise. The decision to focus much of that story on the rivalry between Scorpion and Sub-Zero did lend the movie most of its emotional core. But this also contributed to what I felt was my biggest issue with the film. For a movie called Mortal Kombat, I had expected to see something resembling the proper tournament we got in the 1995 film. But the closest thing we got to that here was a montage of several matchups that were taking place at the same time. It didn't really feel like we had a group of fighters working their way up the ladder towards one final confrontation, or that the tournament itself was operating by any kind of discernible rules, the way it did in the video games. Another issue I had with the movie was the way it just sort of fizzled out at the ending, as though the filmmakers were not quite sure where or how to end it. It is not that the ending was underwhelming per se, but the movie ends right when it felt like things were about to get really good, making the whole thing feel like it was mere setup for future films. It is also worth noting that the film is excessively violent, with enough blood and gore to make even horror fans squirm. But I think that should go without saying, given the source material and the storied history. It definitely earns its R rating. So if you fancy watching a man rip a battering woman in two with weaponized hats, and hearing him call out flawless victory afterwards, then you're in for a bloody good time. Mortal Kombat works because it fully embraces the tongue-in-cheek nature of its source material. Unlike previous entries in the series, which tended to take themselves a little too seriously, this one strikes a nice balance between comedy and action. Its self-awareness elevates what would have otherwise been another retread into something that is sure to please fans of the games and the earlier movies alike. I'll give the film a 7 out of 10. We'll be checking out Mortal Kombat in theaters on HBO Max. Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed watching this review, and to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on if you'd like to see more reviews like this in the future. And until the next one, this is Michael signing off.